Hey, I'm Monisha Dole, actress, bestselling author, and speaker. And today I'm going to give you 3 ways to deal with negative people. Keep watching. So, step one, this is what I learned from Jake Ducey from jake2c.com, and I would like to give credit to him because I learned it and I really liked it because I personally struggle with this. I'm so positive when I'm by myself and I read all these books and all these materials and I meditate and blah blah blah. I do everything, but the real challenge is when you are out there with people. When you have to deal with so many people, that's where your spirituality comes. That's where you know where you stand in your spirituality. And I struggle with it so much. And I really like this idea because I used to get into arguments mostly when I see somebody talking very negatively, have a very negative perspective, negative beliefs. When they try to project their beliefs upon myself, I would often try to impose my beliefs that, oh no, you're wrong, and this is how you should think, and this is the way you should be positive. And then it creates conflicts, it creates arguments because arguments is not going to help. We are both coming from our own perspective, from our own reality. So this is what I've learned, and this is so profound and so powerful. Just by ending something like, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not part of my belief system. It is so simple. And that's it. There's no way, there's no reason to argue because you're not making the other person wrong and you're not trying to prove yourself right. You're just saying that this is not a part of your belief system. And this is so amazing. I was like, when I heard this phrase, I'm like, wow, this is so powerful, and I want to use it over and over again because I often find myself with negative people who gives negative opinions, who have negative observation, realization, and I want to maintain my high vibe and I want to think the way I want to think, and I get into these arguments and I feel so drained of my energy, and I'm like, oh no, this is so difficult. But when I started doing this, I end arguments so effortless. There's no argument. I end conversation. I balance conversation so well just by saying, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not part of my belief system. And then there's no room for arguments because the other person is right, and let them be right in their own with their own beliefs, but I don't have to change their reality for them, and I don't have to impose my beliefs on them. But at the same time, I don't want the other person to impose their beliefs and negativity on me. And the best way to do this is to just say, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not part of my belief system. You might go to your office and you go with this positive energy, and then there comes this colleague who is always complaining about how everything is so bad in your company, how they're not raising the salary, how they're not giving the bonus on time, how the clients is so irritating, how your job is not very ideal. You can say, wow, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not part of my belief system. And then you move on with your life. Then the other person also doesn't get very threatened, and you also don't have to lose your energy trying to explain, trying to give your point of view, trying to make the other person's lives better. If the other person doesn't want to make his life better, then you can't do anything about it. You have to maintain your own energy, which is very important because it's very very easy for you to get sucked in somebody else's negative energy. It has happened with me all the time. So many times it has happened with me, and I used to feel so mad and bad about myself that why can't I hold my positive energy when I am around negative people. So I learned this. When I just say, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not part of my belief system, it changes the game. It changes everything. You don't have to argue, you don't have to fight, you just maintain your energy. So that is step one, just to say, that's not part of my belief system. Step two is to bless them. It is very important to bless negative people. If you perceive somebody as negative, they are not negative people. Their beliefs about a certain situation is negative. Nobody is completely positive and nobody is completely negative. We all have both sides, positive and negative. It's what side you want to make dominant and which side do you want to tap into most of the time. That creates a reality, desired and unwanted. And so it is important to bless them and understand where they're coming from. Nobody likes being negative. Nobody likes to rant about unwanted things. Nobody likes to crib. But They don't know any better. That's why they are behaving this way. They want solace, they want to soothe themselves, so they want to crib about the unwanted things happening at office or in the relationship, and they don't know any better. So understand that they don't know any better. So all you can do after giving them a positive pep talk and trying to exchange positive viewpoints and view positive perspective, and if you see that nothing is working, it is best to just bless them and say a prayer for them and let the universe do its thing. Instead of attacking them in your mind and labeling them as negative, just bless them and set them free, and uh, pray for their greater good. Pray that they find a better outlook towards life, and pray that their situation gets better. And this is how you can be of high level of service. This is how all this information that you have gathered is going to help others. So if words are not helping, it's better to help them through your vibe, through your energy, through your prayers. So step 2 is to bless them. The third step is the willingness to walk away. I have found myself in this kind of situation so many times, where I will be listening to a negative rant of a friend or a colleague, and I will hear it once or twice, thrice, but after a point I feel that it is dragging me into their situation, into their negative energy, and I don't want to be a part of that situation. I don't want to be a part of that negative energy, but I find myself being dragged, being pulled into a situation through the other person. And that's when I realized that I have the power to walk away. And yes, it might sound harsh, it might sound very rude, but I have to be my own best friend first before being somebody else's friend. So I often tell the other person that I understand whatever is happening, and here is a solution, here's what you can do. But if you think that this is not going to work, I'm not here to be a garbage bin. I cannot be a garbage bin for somebody else over and over again. I can give you a shoulder once or twice or thrice, but beyond that, if I don't see that you are doing anything to change the situation, I cannot hear the same thing about your relationship over and over again. I cannot hear the same thing about your colleague over and over again, about your boss, about how much you hate your job again and again and again and again. I can give you a solution, I can listen to you once or twice, but after that, I have to protect my own energy. So I have always chosen to walk away when I see a repetition of behavior, a repetition of negative behavior and negative ranting. So this is what I would recommend you to do, is to have the power to walk away. Be brave to walk away. It might sound harsh and difficult, but if you don't do it, they will drag you to a negative energy, and then you will lose all the energy that you have. So you have worked so hard for this. You get up in the morning, you do all these affirmations, you visualize, you meditate, and then you can't let somebody else steal that away from you. So you have to be your own best friend. And trust me, when you let go of this kind of behavior, you will attract more people who are like-minded, with whom you can maintain your high vibe and who will help you to rise to a better vibration. And also, you are going to help that negative person stop talking about it. And this is the best thing that you can do, by not listening to his negative ranting, not listening to their complaining all the time. You are not giving them an opportunity to talk about it. And when you don't give them an opportunity to talk about it, they have to think something else. So in a way, you're helping the other person by choosing to walk away from that negative conversation, from that cribbing, and from that complaining. So walk away. You have the power. Own your power and choose to walk away when you see a repetition of negative behavior, negative complaining, conversation, cribbing. So you choose to walk away. So guys, these are my 3 ways to deal with negative people. You can't wait for other people to change. What you can do is to change yourself. You have to change your outlook, your mindset, your behavior towards negative people. And this is the best thing that you can do to help them. And you cannot help them by listening to their conversation over and over again. So stop waiting and start creating the life that you want. Start creating the experiences that you want, because I truly believe that you can create your own reality. If you like this video, I want you to do 3 things. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon so that you get informed about all my videos, and share this with someone that you care and love about. And thank you so much for watching my videos regularly. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.